welcome to the first episode of the Kurious Koala podcast. I'd like to start off by thanking every single listener out there for your time. I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. Now that you've read the title, you're probably wondering, what is a podcast anyway, and why am I investing my time in this? To give you a bit of a briefing, we've technically all listened to one form of a podcast, the radio. Every time you were in your car with your family or driving, I'm sure you remember tuning into an AM or FM channel and listening to someone talking. See, this has always been a form of communication that has stayed with us to this very day. What's amazing about the podcasting industry is that it is vastly more accessible to everyone using a digital media platform or a smartphone. For example, my podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anghami, YouTube, Anchor, and many others. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at It's Curious Koala. All these details will be in the episode description below. If you happen to enjoy this episode, all I ask is to please follow or subscribe to help the podcast grow. Now, your response to me would be, oh, it's just repurposed radio. No, it's not. A podcast is extremely different. It could be anywhere from 2 minutes to 2 hours. You could discuss any topic from business, culture, technology, education. The options are really endless. You aren't even limited by a schedule. You could choose to do it daily, weekly, or monthly. In my case, I'm aiming for an episode every 2 weeks, probably on a Sunday. All of this without the limitations, obviously, of anyone pressuring you to cancel your show in case you don't get enough views, monitoring how many people are tuning into your episodes. I mean, it's that simple. But now that you've kind of got the idea of what a podcast generally is, why should you listen? Let me ask you this. Do you go for walks? How much time do you spend commuting in traffic? How much time do your chores take you? Whether it's doing the dishes, cleaning your room, organizing your office. 15 minutes? 30? An hour maybe? What if I told you there's a way you could use your time while doing all the above? Sounds like a good proposition, don't you agree? That's exactly why you should tune into a podcast. You can practically learn anything once you tune into an episode of one of your favorite shows, like mine. It'll just play in the background while you finish your mundane task or whatever you're doing. Take me as an example. I listen to 3 different podcasts while I'm in traffic, when commuting between different cities in Lebanon. I even listen to some in the gym. I mean, yeah, you're lifting weights and they're pretty heavy, but it works. I guess you could always listen to music, but why not learn something every now and then? Doesn't hurt. What was the saying? Invest in yourself to get the best interest. Sounds good to me. What about you? Now, when we look at different podcasts, there are generally 2 formats of how it could be made. You could do it solo, just like mine, where you talk about specific topics. Believe it or not, some people even narrate stories or comedy bits. It's pretty impressive. You could find a lot. The other option is interviewing styles with guests every now and then. Each one, of course, has its own perks and quirks. And the solo option, for example, I have to keep you, the listener, engaged all by myself. When other people get involved, like in the interview-style podcast, it is sometimes a nice change of pace for the listener, where you engage with your guest. You keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Some television shows, events, and seminars actually use podcasting as a way to repurpose their content and spread their reach to different audiences. So congratulations. You were kind of right. But what audiences are we really talking about? How many people actually listen to a podcast or even know what it is? You are obviously an exception because you opted to listen to this one. But what about the rest of the world? Specifically, what about the MENA region, the Middle East and North Africa? Have you heard of Anghami? Anghami is a digital music streaming platform that is pretty dominant in its presence in the Middle East. The way it works is that you download their application, sign up with an account like Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or email, and simply start streaming music from their huge music library for free. Free. Of course, nothing is free in this day of age. You know how the saying goes, if the product is free, you are the product. What do I mean? Well, if you don't choose to subscribe to their monthly or yearly payment plan, you'll have ads all over the place, limited app features, and no offload streaming option. Pretty basic stuff considering it's free. But that's not our topic for the day. Maybe we'll discuss this subscription model in a future podcast. So how many people actually download the app and use it regularly? According to reports in 2019, the platform has a whopping 70 million users with 21 million monthly active users and 1 million paying subscribers. Let me say that again. Okay, focus. Focus on the numbers just for a bit. 70 million users, 21 million monthly active users, and 1 million subscribers. These numbers are pretty impressive for a company that hasn't been here that long. It only started in 2011 from Lebanon, and even since their journey to attract new audiences from students, families, and famous artists to their platform, it's been quite a ride. Now you're like, why are you bringing this up? What does this have to do with anything? Well, this digital music platform recently invested into podcasts, signing multiple deals with several creators. Yes, now you can listen to over 300 different podcasts on Anghami, 60% of which come from this region. Now generally, Anghami has no direct competition in the region, other than Spotify, Deezer, and Apple Music recently entering the market. Anghami's co-founder Eli publicly said they are not afraid of them. He's actually more worried about YouTube than those platforms. Why? Well, because Anghami has a video watching option for its music on the app, which no one probably uses. But anyway, surprisingly though, their ultimate goal has always been to focus on the piracy aspect of the industry. Piracy? Well, yeah, come on. You're not that innocent. Downloading music illegally is a big thing in this part of the world. The company explicitly say on their website that the region's music industry is dominated by piracy, and that they are trying to fill this gap by offering a legal music alternative in an enjoyable way while using a model that fairly represents artists and labels. With this clear approach to their way of business, they're hoping consumers in the MENA region switch from their piracy methods into a more convenient, well-established application like Anghami, hoping they could deliver as smooth as an experience as they could. Their main goal in 2020 is expansion. Given the nature of the pandemic these days, and the rise of streaming and social platforms in the world, you might be surprised to hear that a report by Bloomberg, the media company, stated Anghami is assessing its options for business, which, in other words, means they are considering selling their business for a reported $400 million. The other option they're considering is a new round of funding that they hope can help grow their business. You might be thinking, I knew it! Some foreign company will buy them, just like Uber bought Careem and Amazon bought Souk in the UAE. And you might be right. Actually, you establishing the connection is quite impressive and is very deserving of a clap. Because, well, it might be the case, but the player who's having rumors is actually a Dubai-based TV broadcaster called Orbit Showtime Network. Never heard of it before, to be honest. Convenient this, convenient that. Is Anghami as convenient as they say? Is it really? Will people actually consider transitioning to their application? Well, yeah. If you didn't know, the company currently has 29 mobile network partners in the MENA region. What does this mean? Well, if you live in parts of the MENA region and you're listening to this, chances are you have the ability to use your mobile credit, yes, your dollars, that you call with to subscribe to their service, if you aren't doing that already. See, that's powerful. That's convenience. What this means is that you don't have to use a credit card or any card to subscribe to their service. Just simply credit on your phone. And get this, their biggest revenues comes from this very partnership, from mobile operators. When I found out about this, I was shocked to think such a unique competitive advantage in the region would help shape the company's revenues and have a big influence on their foreign competitors Spotify, Deezer, and Apple Music, who don't have these partnerships yet. Yup, in 2018, Prince of Saudi, Al-Walid bin Talal, invested a massive $270 million in Deezer, which is one of the major competitors of Anghami. So what? Well, a local prince with a lot of money in the region invested in a major competitor, which might give us some nice surprises in the future and intensify the competition in the region. Remember, competition is good. It pushes companies to give better features and solutions for consumers, for us, at a lower price. It's perfect. So let's put some more wood to the fire. Rotana, in 2019, did an exclusive deal with Deezer. This gives Deezer exclusive rights to distribute content from Rotana in the MENA region. Rotana, if you didn't know, has a large catalog of Arabic music, TV, and films, and claims to be the biggest record company in the region. Before this deal happened, Rotana was with Anghami and used to represent a reported 6% of why people listen to Anghami in the first place. So yeah, things are getting more intense in the region. Actually, every single industry, if you think about it, is leaning towards exclusivity and unique offerings. Whether streaming shows online, playing video games on a console, or even simply enrolling with a bank, what gets you that customer is that specific exclusive deal. To explain what I mean, if we take the Rotana aspect for example, if people only listen to Rotana, they will move wherever Rotana moves. Simple as that. If I like this, I'll follow it. If people like a specific game, they will move to wherever the game ends up, obviously if it maintains the same quality, assuming all else perfect. If people get discounts and deals at some of their favorite restaurants and airlines because of the bank they enroll in, they will move banks for that very convenience. It's logical. See, things are way easier than they used to be in the past. Making a bank account takes less than 5 minutes and it's all online. The cards actually come to your door. Subscribing to a streaming service takes less than a minute and off you go, start watching anything you'd like. With so many options, the world is changing in so many ways, and so are we. We pay for convenience, we pay for exclusivity, we pay for our comfort. In this new digital economy and the advancement of technology, we are demanding more and more and more. And so be it. Let's evolve. Let's prepare for what the new world demands. Let's lead the change. If I helped you learn anything new today, please follow this podcast and share it with your friends. If you do, you help the podcast grow, and you help me produce better content in the future. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.